Alright, boys. Beautiful sunny Monday in Bangkok, and I wanted to dedicate this live stream to a topic that usually messes up the minds of men when it comes to cold approaching pretty girls during the day, and it's how do I stop running out of things to say? Like, oh, Christian, I've watched your stuff, I want to go out there, I want to start striking up conversations with the feminine, but I'm really worried. Like, I'm worried about running out of things to say and things getting awkward. I don't want to go over to a girl and my mind goes blank, and then I feel as though I'm going to lose value in the eyes of a woman, and then she's going to go home and tell all her friends that, hey, this really weird guy came over to me and he ran out of things to say, ha ha ha, lol. So yeah, I wanted to put this together really for guys who are new to the game of cold approach, and hopefully by watching this live stream all the way through, you've got a better idea how to actually go into your conversations just filled with more confidence, yeah, able to experience success in advance as opposed to experiencing failure in advance and not approaching out of a fear of losing value in the eyes of the woman. So I think the best piece of advice that I can give to you after being involved in this skill for the past 4 years and coaching hundreds of guys from all around the world is give yourself full permission to suck at the start, okay? Like, spontaneous conversations, they are naturally chaotic, and I think it's too easy to put unnecessary pressure on yourself to be perfect. Like, oh, I need to carry a 10 out of 10 conversation, I can't like make any conversational slips, everything needs to be perfect, everything needs to be dialed in. Really, what I found to be true is you actually don't want to come across as too smooth in your conversations, because the whole thing can start to look a bit too rehearsed, a little bit too scripted. Like, if you're so polished and so smooth, the girl's gonna think, he's probably just doing this to every single girl. But you know, if you're speaking to a girl for 30 seconds and all of a sudden your mind goes blank, then what I found to work the best is just announce it. Yeah, just be transparent with whatever's going through your mind at the time. So, like, you know, if I go over to a girl and all of a sudden my mind goes blank, which, you know, it happens. Like, even for me, even the level that I've got to, it happens. You know, maybe you didn't sleep that well the night before, or maybe you've got so many things which are going through your mind at the moment. Maybe you've been really busy at work, or you're feeling stressed out with your job and your mind does go blank. Just announce it. Yeah, you can just make it playful as well. Like, you can say to the girl, listen, I was about to say something, but you distracted me. Like, you're looking too fucking good. Like, come on, give me something to talk about. Otherwise it's gonna get really awkward. I'm gonna have to talk about our hashtag feelings and families. Like, you can put it into your own words, but what I'm trying to get across is the importance of just state transparency and owning whatever state that you're in, right? If your mind has gone blank, then just don't make a big deal out of it. I try and get the point across to you boys all the time. You don't have dating problems. You've got personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. So you're not actually scared of running out of things to say. You're worried how you will be perceived if you run out of things to say. So if you're somebody who's got such a deep-rooted fear of being rejected, and that's causing you to have this obsession with perfectionism, or maybe you didn't have a lot of romantic opportunities in your younger years, or maybe right now because you're not putting yourself out there enough, and maybe interactions with the feminine are a rare occurrence. So when you do put yourself into those conversations, you think everything needs to go perfect, and it needs to be 10 out of 10. It needs to be conversationally immaculate. Otherwise, the fear of loss kicks in, and you're worried that you're not going to get another opportunity to actually practice, right? So I think just take things slower, right? If you are completely new to this and you've got a lot of anxiety built up at the moment, what I always say to you, and especially the guys who I work with, is just start viewing the reps as the rewards, right? If you've got a lot of anxiety right now, then just getting out of your house is already a massive step. And then just going over to somebody being like, hey, excuse me, I just saw you, you look really good. I'll be honest, I don't really know what else to say, but I just wanted to do this because I would have regretted not coming over here. And then that's actually such a great conversational topic to get into. So like if you see somebody that you really like and in your head you're like, fuck, I don't really know what to say, you can go over, you can say, hey, excuse me, I just wanted to say you look amazing and I would have regretted not coming over here and saying that to you. And then you can literally talk about the fragility of life, right? It's like, look, I would have regretted not coming over here. Like, life is uncertain. I don't know when my get called, and I would have deeply regretted not coming over here, and just like smile on your face. And then maybe that can then help you create a deeper connection with the girl that you're speaking with. Maybe she's experienced something in her life where she's like, yeah, I understand that. Like, this thing happened to me last year and it really put things into perspective. I realized the fragility of life and how we need to shoot our shot. We miss 100% the shots that we don't take. Rejection is better than regret. It's like, just by you being more open and leading with authenticity, it can actually create some beautiful conversations. But I think that old school pickup advice, it brainwashed men into thinking they need to be these personifications of perfection. Like, they can't have any flaws. They can't show like their human sides, right? But it's like, humans connect with humans. It's people that make the world go around. So when you're coming outside, it's just like shifting the focus from, oh, I'm worried about looking like an idiot today, to going out with the mindset of seduce the world. Yeah, beauty needs a witness. So like, if you're really scared at the moment that, oh, I might run out of things to say, understand that those problems are coming from some deep-rooted place, some deep-rooted trauma or fear of losing value in the eyes of a woman, and then you end up pedestalizing the woman, and it's like your conversations can't really flourish. So I think, first of all, just understand the importance of state transparency, right? If you do run out of things to say, or you can feel as though your mind's starting to go blank, then just announce it, right? Just be like, hey, listen, I was about to say something, but I had a massive brain fart, so you're gonna have to help me out, otherwise it's gonna get really awkward. I'm gonna have to start talking about our families. So that would be the first thing, just like state transparency, owning your state, doing your best not to put the feminine on a pedestal. Understand that, like, when you're going over to these women, she's probably nervous as well, because she wasn't expecting to get approached today. So it's like, she'll also be up in her head oftentimes thinking, oh, what if I run out of things to say? That's why, like, that's why sometimes, like, you can actually get like, oh, I've got a boyfriend, or you find that the girl is ejecting from the conversation because, like, she can feel social anxiety as well. Like, the girls can feel the spotlight effect. Like, if you've approached a girl in a busy area, like, all of a sudden she had a noise cancellation headphones. Now you've approached her. Now she takes her headphones out. Now you've just given her a compliment. Now she's thinking about 1,000,001 different things. Like, oh, am I looking pretty right now? Maybe she just come out of the gym and she's like insecure about the way she currently looks. So she's like, oh, sorry, I've got a boyfriend, or oh, I need to go. I've got something really important to do. So I think oftentimes we actually need to have more empathy for the women that we're speaking with. We have to almost hold their hands through the cold approach experience. We almost have to teach them how to have a cold approach conversation, because oftentimes they're just not prepared for it, right? And oftentimes, because we're so nervous and she's our mirror and she feels what we feel, we can transfer all that nervous energy over to her. So I think second point is just start having more empathy towards the women that you're speaking with. Like, oftentimes they weren't expecting to be cold approach today. So I think just taking it slower with your approach. Like, this is a big sticking point that I see with the beginner guys that I work with. Everything is like 100 miles an hour. It's like, hey, excuse me, I just saw you look really good. And she's not even ready for that. So I think just having more empathy towards the feminine, like the women that you're approaching, they're not actually expecting to be approached. So that's important. But I think just the thing that I was saying before about that humanization aspect, like, running out of things to say doesn't mean the conversation has to end. Like, just because you've run out of things to say, there's something deeply human about being able to just connect with somebody more on that human, personal, natural level. Like, oh, this guy's talking to me, but oh, he's run out of things to say. Now that makes me feel less awkward because I don't feel as though I need to be perfect either. Another really important point that I would give to you boys as well, this is more if you've been speaking with a girl for a couple of minutes. Let's say you approach, you had a conversation, things are going well, but then maybe you watch one of my videos where I was like, you ideally want to be speaking with a girl for about 5 minutes before you go for any sort of number, because you ideally want to build a connection during that conversation, because then she's going to be less likely to flake, because it's the whole get the girl, not the number, right? A lot of times, guys get on a dopamine high because they're collecting lots of phone numbers, but they don't hear from the phone numbers again because they never actually created an emotional connection with the girl. Like, they never actually gave her a compelling reason to actually come out on a date with them. But like, if you are new to this, and you've been speaking with a girl for a couple of minutes, and then your mind goes blank, and you think, oh fuck, I've run out of things to say, I don't want this to get awkward, so I'm just gonna wish her a good day, just go for the phone number. That's like one of the most practical things that you can do. Like, if you've been speaking with a girl for a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden your mind goes blank, just say something along the lines of, hey listen, this has been really great speaking to you, I actually need to go to insert location, but another time, let's go do something. I'm actually planning on going to this cocktail bar next Saturday. You should come with me. Drop me a number and then we can get something sorted. So that's like what I would call a mind blank move, right? So it's like you can feel as though your mind is starting to go blank. Maybe you've not yet got to that point where you feel confident enough to just own your state. Just go for the phone number. Like most times, it's more weird if you've gone over to a girl stone cold sober during the day, give her a compliment, carried a conversation for at least 2 minutes, and then just walk off into the sunset. Like, it's more weird if you don't go for the number. And it's an extra compliment to her as well. Like, going over, giving her a compliment, carrying a conversation. Like, even if the conversation has only lasted for a couple of minutes and you don't really think there's a strong likelihood that you're ever going to hear from her again, you might as well just go for it anyway, because it's just getting points on the board, you know, especially if you're new to this. I would much rather, if you were one of my beginner guys, I would much rather you go for a phone number after a 2-minute conversation with full expectation you're never going to hear from her again because you didn't feel as though a connection was made, than just walking off into the sunset without going for the phone number. Like, it is more weird if you just walk off without going for the contact details, because in her mind, she's going to be like, what the fuck was all that about? Was he gay? So, yeah, I think just, if you've been speaking for a couple of minutes and your mind has gone blank, just go for the number. I would say, like, be speaking for at least a couple of minutes. I don't want you to get into like spam approaching territory where you become one of those guys who just compliments and goes for a number. Like, that's just spammy, and you want to avoid that. Like, hey, you look really great, give me a number. Like, if you've got like some serious inner game and everything is on point, then you can do that. But I think if you're completely new to this, it's the wrong way to do it. I would much rather you get acclimatized to having longer conversations. And a couple of minutes is good. Like, it'll feel like a really long time. You know, if you're completely new to cold approach, having a 10-second conversation with a girl, that'll feel like a lot at the start. Like, whenever I'm coaching my guys one-on-one, they'll have like a 40-second conversation at the start, and they'll come out of the conversation, be like, bro, we were speaking for like 5 minutes there. I was like, dude, you were speaking for 40 seconds, but that was good though. So, and I think the final thing, like if you're someone who's worried about running out of things to say, I would say the final thing is just start being led by curiosity. This is a really important conversational, I don't even want to call it a technique, because it should just be a way of being. It should be the way that we approach all of our conversations with new people, not just women, but like people in general who we want to connect with. Just being led by curiosity. Like, who is this person? Like, what are they doing with their life? What are their hopes and dreams? Like, why are they in this city? Like, I think oftentimes we have an agenda when we're going into these conversations. It's like, you know, must approach, must be perfect, must deliver compliment, must get phone number, must ask certain questions, must insert these spikes to make myself appear better than I am. And I think we actually forget that we're speaking to another human being on the other side of that conversation. So I think just being led by curiosity, you know, just asking like deeper questions, like, who is this person? What are they doing? Like, why are they in the city? What are their aspirations? Like, what are they scared of? Like, if they could wake up tomorrow and be anywhere in the world, where would they be? You know, just really building that deeper rapport through curiosity. Like, I think when you understand that this whole game is about a value exchange, right? People love talking about themselves. It's like, if you can give somebody a platform to just talk about who they are as a person, you know, like, oftentimes, and guys don't actually realize this, oftentimes beautiful women are secretly lonely because nobody actually takes them seriously. Like, we've got guys in our private community, the Entourage, and they're in different cities across Europe. Some of the cities that they're approaching in have got some of the most beautiful women on the planet. And what's really crazy is you'll often find the most beautiful women, they're not being approached during the daytime. Like, no one's approaching them because they're intimidated by them. It's like men just want to fuck them, and their friends are secretly jealous of them, so like they never feel included. It's like if you can go over to a beautiful woman and just see the person beneath the beauty, it's like, oh yeah, you look great, but are you cool? Are you interesting? Like, what are you interested in? Like, what's your life's mission? What's your fucking hashtag purpose? It's just like being led by curiosity and actually forcing yourself to find out who this person is. One of my mentors, Daniel, he gives a really great exercise to beginner clients who we work with, and it's like, okay, the next person that you go over to, you have to find at least one interesting thing about them that no one else would know, right? So it's like when you're leaving that conversation, you can actually say to yourself, right, I actually know who that person is now. I was led by curiosity. I had a desire to discover. So yeah, being led by curiosity, just asking yourself, right, who is this person? What can I find out about them? How can I actually connect with them on a personal level? And just recognizing, you know, running out of things to say, it's normal. Yeah, just state transparency, saying what you feel rather than what you feel as though you ought to say. Oh, I've run out of things to say now, never mind. Make a joke out of it, own the state, go for the number, and just have a zoomed out perspective. You know, in 100 years, none of this is gonna matter. It's all space dust and ashes. So I think as long as you're putting yourself into those conversations, recognizing that not every conversation you have is gonna go perfect. You're gonna have a lot of car crash conversations, and that's absolutely fine. Don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself to be perfect. Fuck perfection, just show up, and just when you are going out there, recognize you are speaking to humans, right? So humanize your conversations, lead with authenticity, and you'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, boys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want me to go deeper on conversation skills, then download my free course. Well, I've got 2 free courses, so yeah, the links for those courses are below. Just go on to more videos on this channel as well. You can see like the infields and all that stuff. So yeah, I really hope that this video has helped you. I'm doing a live stream every single day, so hopefully, even if one thing that I've said has inspired you today, then that's the only goal of these live streams. But yeah, appreciate you boys. Drop the live stream a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll speak with you boys again tomorrow. All right. Mwah.